UK adults will have to opt out of donating organs under surprise Theresa May policy. Theresa May announced plans to make it easier for doctors in England to use organs for transplants without consent. In her speech at the Conservative Party conference in Manchester, the Prime Minister said, "Our ability to help people who need transplants is limited by the number of organ donors. That is why last year 500 people died, because a suitable organ was not available. So to address this challenge we will change that system, shifting the balance of presumption in favor of organ donation, working on behalf of the vulnerable." It comes only days after Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn announced that he would implement the same policy at the Labour Party conference. Wales changed the rules in 2015, so doctors can assume all over 18s consent to organ donations. Relatives still have the right to object to organs being removed, but if they cannot be contacted then the transplant goes ahead. The policy would not apply to Scotland because it has a separate health service. The nation is introducing a soft opt-out option north of the border, which means organs cannot be removed without the explicit consent of relatives. Mrs. May said there will be a consultation on changing the rules, with a policy document for England coming out in the next few weeks. The British Medical Association has long called for an opt-out transplant policy for England. It argues that, while 66% say they will donate organs, only 39% had signed up to the donor register. Chief Executive at the British Heart Foundation, Simon Gillespie, said there is a desperate shortage of organ donors, meaning people needlessly die as they wait for organs. Introducing a soft opt-out system will mean more people will get the life-saving transplant they desperately need. Last year 5,411 people in England were on the transplant list, with around 3 people dying every day in the UK while waiting for an organ transplant. Supporters of the policy think it will save countless lives, but critics say it is unethical to take organs without consent. Peter Saunders from the Christian Medical Fellowship said presumed consent is illiberal, unethical, unproven and unnecessary, and is based on the false presumption that the organs of deceased people are the property of the state rather than the family. Furthermore, there is no proof it increases organ donations. Presumed consent legislation is based on the legal fiction that people who'd have done nothing, neither signed an opt-in nor opt-out register, have deliberately chosen to donate their organs. 9 years ago, an independent panel of scientists concluded the law in England should stay the same. During his tenure as Prime Minister, Gordon Brown appointed the Organ Donation Task Force, who found that there was no evidence that a change in the law would boost donation rates. But in Wales, the number waiting for a transplant fell by more than a third, from 309 in 2010-11 to 193 in 2015-16 since the opt-out system was introduced.